If you have a mobile quarterback, you need to utilize the empty formation. All right, and I'm going to show you how we use our quarterback in the run game out of our empty formation. This is something we haven't done a lot in the past, but going forward, we're going to work a lot more of this in. And even if you don't have a mobile quarterback, you could take out your quarterback and put in a running back and do this. All right, so pre-snap here. We're empty. We're 3x2. Okay, empty means there's no running backs in the backfield. Our tailback is stacked over our X. Okay, we bump out our H, so we got almost a stacked trips look here, but we're 3x2. All right. Our Y, usually it's our tight end. We'll split him out, or you could put in another receiver if you have a lot of receiving kids. It's however you want to do it, but our tight end's here on the line of scrimmage. Our Z's off the ball. Now, what empty does is it forces the defense to spread out. Like they have 3 eligible receivers here and 2 here. You have to pull defenders out of the box to cover this, especially if you're in man coverage. So if they pull defenders out of the box, it's going to lighten up the inside. All right. So if they don't respect your trip stack side, you could just catch the ball, turn and throw. Say they only match 2 and you have 3. Catch the ball, throw a quick now. We would go check now, or we don't want to say now. We would do verbal. We do this. So it would be a verbal call for us, and then there'll be no motion. We would just catch it and turn and throw. So if they don't respect your trips, throw it out to the T and let one of your best players, if not your best kid, work in space, which is never a bad play. Then the H would block him. These two would block the nearest threat to the H. All right, and we wouldn't worry too much about this kid that's kind of splitting the difference here, or kind of in an overhang position. All right, so pre-snap we start empty. Defense spreads out with us. Now, what I like to do is to start an empty, then return motion in our tailback. So in this case, once everyone's set, QB looks at him. Okay, this is fast motion. We don't want to go slow. All right, we want to go like at least 70% speed. All right, so we want to go fast, 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 and downshift a little bit. As we get past the center, we're going to kick out, and we are going to run power. All right, now you could have the guard and tackle to the play side combo off to the backside linebacker, or if this kid doesn't bump out and he's here, have the left guard work off onto the backer, or work the combo block. If not, you could just have these 2 kids stay on the double team so you get him moved. That's what we usually do. We don't combo off. We think it's too... Maybe I just can't coach it well enough, but I think it takes too much time, and it just never really worked out for me. So we just kind of just stay on the double team. And if this kid makes a play, we're going to get yards anyway. You know, so we're going to motion him across. And once the ball snapped, he's going to kick out this defensive end. Now it's important when he motions across, he cannot go or lean forward until the ball is snapped. And also make sure he's about over the center when the ball is about to be snapped, okay? Because obviously you don't want to hit the motion player, snap it too early, snap it too late. All right, so the timing, you do need to work on it. But we start 3x2, give the defense a second to align. Everyone's set. We call it return motion. Okay, we return back in, and we're kicking out the first player outside of our left tackle here, okay? So in this case, it's a D end. Maybe it's a rolled up outside linebacker, depending on the defense. I don't know. But we're going to kick out the first defender outside of our left tackle. If there's no one there, we turn upfield and block the first person we see. So what that does is, you know, honestly, whoever's covering the T should run back into the box with him, right? Or they should bump the Sam back in. He bumps on here, he bumps on here, and then they could at least keep a 2, 4, 5, 6-man box, which still isn't great against this. So, you know, it creates conflict. Like, who is someone going to run back in with him? You know, are they going to bump someone back in the box? A lot of times teams won't. A lot of times the defender covering him, which is a strong safety, or maybe even the safety that's rolled out at this point, he's got to fit in the box and follow him across. Otherwise, they're going to be outnumbered. And even if they do, he's still probably going to follow him in around here, and he's going to be off the ball. And by the time he even impacts the play, we're going to gain yards. So I like starting an empty, letting them spread out with us. Motion back in, full speed, boom. We kick out, aiming point inside hip of the DM. We get a double. Backside guard pulls and wraps. So quarterback's going to catch it. One lateral step to let the guard get in front of him, and we're going to cut right off this guard's block, which we're going to look for the inside linebacker here. Okay, or if this kid's over here, we want to block him here. But we're looking for that first linebacker that shows through the hole. All right, so that's a nice little play. And again, if they don't respect the trips, have a now screen. You just check now and throw it, work in space. And then spread out, let the defense spread out with you. Push motion this kid back in and watch it work. Right? If you were to push motion this kid back in, this kid is usually a box player. Okay, so like whoever was covering the H, the number 3 receiver here, 1, 2, 3, would probably be an inside or an outside linebacker. So if you were to push motion him back in and have him kick out, it'd be more likely for this linebacker to fold back in because he's comfortable and that's where he plays. Whereas like a safety or a corner who's covering him, you know, they're not going to know how to line up and they're probably not going to be that linebacker type kid. All right, so you direct snap to your Q and go. And if you don't have a mobile quarterback, you go do this with the running back. Right? You put your second best running back in and do that with him. So we motion him across, kick it out, we run power. You could ISO this too. You could have the left tackle block out and draw it up for you. And then have him wrap through. And we're on ISO, there's no puller. So if you don't want a puller, have him lead block through here and block him. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways you guys could run this, right? Now, let's show you another way. Now, in this case, we're starting 2 by 2, and we're going to push motion to empty. All right, so we're running more so of an ISO look here. We still call this power. It'll be 1 back power. All right, or no back power, really. If you're got your running back in as the quarterback, then it would be 1 back power, but it's QB power at empty. So we'd start here. We push motion him out. If they don't match him, we have 3 on 2. We throw the screen to him. So just like the first play, if they're not matching this, okay, pretend he's not coming to motion. He's already out there pre-snap. If they don't match it, we throw to him. Here, we start here. If the one linebacker in the box doesn't match him, we'll throw to our best athlete in space and work the 3 on 2. If they match him, pulls a defender out of the box, and we're going to run QB power. And then you could have this kid running now. You could have him. I would actually have him block because this kid could eventually make a play. So we want to stalk block him, really take away the inside. You could work some kind of tunnel scheme here too. So there's a lot, if they don't match it, you know, there's a lot you could do. So you could see the conflict this type of motion puts on the defense, right? Like you return motion someone in, it's tough. It creates numbers and leverage advantage for you. And it's a challenge for the defense to adjust to and to match. Or if you start out here in the backfield, you push someone out, someone better run out with him because he's eligible. You could push him out and go have him run vertical. You could push him out, run an out screen. So if they don't match him, he'll be wide open if you're throwing the ball or working some kind of screen game or quick game. And if they do match him, you pull a linebacker out of the box and you run your Q or your direct snap running back. Great play for all age levels of football. Go empty, guys. Force the defense to spread out. Run the football.